She wrapped her small arms around his legs in the middle of a crowded street, her voice breaking through the noise like a prayer he didn't deserve. Daddy. The word shattered him. Because 3 months ago, he was the monster who made her an orphan. The rain fell heavy on the city streets, turning the world into blurred shades of gray and gold. Elias stood beneath the awning of a closed bookstore, hands buried deep in his coat pockets, watching humans rush past with umbrellas and purpose. He'd been walking these streets for 2 centuries, but the weight on his chest was only 3 months old. He could still hear the screams, still smell the blood, still see her parents' faces in those final moments when his control had snapped and the hunger had won. He closed his eyes against the memory. The couple had been walking home late. He'd been weak, starving, and the beast inside had taken over. By the time his mind cleared, 2 bodies lay cooling on the pavement, and somewhere in the distance, a child was crying. He hadn't known they had a daughter. That detail came later when he'd read the news reports with shaking hands. Orphaned girl, age 7, found wandering near the scene. Parents declared dead from animal attack. Animal attack. The lie humans told themselves. 6 blocks away, Lily pressed her face against the cold window of Miller's home for children, watching the same rain. Her breath fogged the glass. She traced a heart in the condensation, then wiped it away quickly before any of the other kids could see and call her a baby. But she was a baby. At least that's what she felt like. 7 years old, and she still couldn't sleep without crying for her mama. Still woke up reaching for her daddy's hand. Mrs. Miller called her name for dinner, but Lily didn't move. She didn't want soup and bread. She wanted her father's laugh. She wanted her mother's songs. She wanted to stop feeling so empty all the time. Tonight, she'd made a decision. After dinner, after lights out, she was going to sneak out and find them. Maybe they weren't really gone. Maybe it was all a mistake. Maybe if she just looked hard enough, walked far enough, she'd turn a corner and there they'd be. The dinner bell rang again. Lily turned from the window, wiped her eyes, and headed downstairs. In 3 hours, she'd make her escape. She had no idea she was about to find something far more dangerous than the truth. Lily slipped through the orphanage door just after midnight. The rain had softened to a drizzle, and the streets gleamed like black mirrors under the streetlights. She pulled her thin jacket tighter and started walking, no destination in mind, just following the ache in her chest that said move, search, find. Elias was still walking too. He never slept anymore. Sleep brought dreams and dreams brought their faces. He turned onto Maple Street, and that's when he saw her. A small figure in a pink jacket, soaked through, stumbling along the sidewalk with her arms wrapped around herself. His dead heart lurched. No. It couldn't be. But as she moved under the streetlight, he saw her face clearly. The same dark curls. The same small nose. He'd seen her photo in the newspaper article he'd read 100 times, torturing himself with what he'd done. The orphan. Their daughter. She looked up at that exact moment and their eyes met. Lily didn't know why she did it. Didn't know what pulled her forward. But something in his eyes looked sad like hers. Something in the way he stood reminded her of being small and safe. She ran to him. Before Elias could move, before he could disappear into the shadows where monsters belonged, she crashed into him and wrapped her arms around his waist, pressing her face against his coat. And then she said it. Daddy. The word came out muffled, desperate, like she'd been holding it in for months, and it finally broke free. She started sobbing, her small body shaking against him, and Elias stood frozen, his hands hovering above her, unable to touch, unable to breathe. This was hell. This had to be hell. The child whose life he'd destroyed was holding on to him like he was salvation. Elias's first instinct was to run. Vanish. Use his speed and leave her standing alone on the wet street. But her grip was surprisingly strong and her sobs were cutting through him like silver blades. Slowly, carefully, he placed one hand on her shoulder. She's real. She's here. And she has no idea what I am. Daddy, she said again, looking up at him with eyes full of tears and hope. I knew you'd come back. I knew it wasn't real. I knew you didn't leave me. Oh God. She thinks I'm him. Elias's throat tightened. No. No, sweetheart, I'm not. But she wasn't listening. She buried her face in his coat again, her words tumbling out between sobs. They told me you were gone. They told me you and Mama were gone, but I knew they were wrong. I knew if I looked hard enough. Daddy, I missed you so much. Please don't leave again. Please. Every word was a knife. Every daddy was a conviction. He should tell her the truth. Should pull away. Should say, I'm not your father, child. I'm the thing that killed him. But when he opened his mouth, different words came out. What are you doing out here alone? It's not safe. She pulled back just enough to look at him, confusion crossing her small face. Her eyes scanned his features and he saw the exact moment reality began to creep in. You're not. Her voice got smaller. You don't look like. I'm not your father, Elias said gently, the words like glass in his throat. I'm sorry. Lily stepped back, embarrassment flooding her cheeks red even in the dim light. She wiped at her face with her sleeve. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought. I don't know why I thought. She turned to run but stumbled, exhaustion and cold finally catching up to her. Elias caught her before she hit the pavement, and the moment his hands touched her arms, he felt how badly she was shivering. When did you last eat? He asked. She wouldn't look at him. This morning. It was past midnight. Despite every instinct screaming at him to walk away, Elias made a choice that would change everything. Come on. Let's get you warm and fed, then I'll take you back to wherever you're staying. Lily looked up at him with wet, uncertain eyes. Why would you help me? Because, Elias thought, it's the very least I owe you. Elias brought her to an all-night diner 6 blocks away. The fluorescent lights were harsh after the darkness, and the smell of coffee and grease filled the air. He slid into a booth and Lily sat across from him, still shivering, looking impossibly small against the red vinyl. A tired waitress appeared and Elias ordered hot chocolate, soup, a grilled cheese sandwich, and fries. Everything warm he could think of. When the waitress left, an awkward silence settled between them. What's your name? Elias finally asked. Lily. The name hit him like a punch. He'd read it in the articles. Lily Chin, age 7, now residing at Miller's Home for Children. I'm Elias. She nodded, studying him with an intensity that made him uncomfortable. Why did you stop? Most people just walk past. Because you looked lost. I was looking for my parents, Lily said quietly. They died 3 months ago. There it was. The confirmation. The timeline matched perfectly. I'm sorry, Elias managed. The words felt obscene coming from his mouth. Everyone says that, Lily murmured. But sorry doesn't bring them back. The food arrived and Elias watched as she ate slowly at first, then faster, like she was starving. She probably was. He doubted the orphanage fed them well. Do you have a family? Lily asked between bites. No. Not anymore. Did they die too? Something like that. She took a long sip of hot chocolate, leaving a small foam mustache on her upper lip. It's lonely, isn't it? Being the only one left. Elias looked at the small, broken child and felt something crack inside his chest. Yes. It's very lonely. The diner felt too bright, too exposed. But neither of them moved to leave. Why'd you run away tonight? Elias asked. Lily's eyes dropped to her plate. I thought if I walked the streets enough, maybe I'd find something. Some piece of them. Or maybe I just wanted to feel close to where they were last. Her voice broke. They died somewhere on these streets. The police wouldn't tell me where exactly. But I thought maybe if I walked enough, I'd feel it. Feel them. Elias closed his eyes. She was looking for the place where he'd murdered them. You can't go out alone like this, he said, his voice rough. It's dangerous. There are things out here that what? Kill people? She looked up at him with eyes far too old for 7. I know. That's what killed my parents. Something dangerous. They told you it was an animal attack. Lily shook her head slowly. I don't think it was an animal. I think it was something worse. Elias went very still. Why do you say that? Because animals don't leave bodies that empty. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Have you ever held on to hope for something you knew was impossible? Drop a comment and let me know where you're watching this from. I'd love to know where in the world you're connecting with Elias and Lily's story right now. The words hung in the air like smoke. Elias felt his hands begin to shake beneath the table. Bodies that empty. She knew. Somehow this child knew. What do you mean by that? He asked carefully. Lily pushed her half-eaten sandwich around the plate. I heard the police talking when they thought I was asleep at the station. They said there was almost no blood. Like something drained them. Her voice was matter-of-fact, but her hands trembled. One officer said he'd never seen anything like it in 30 years. Elias wanted to run. Wanted to disappear. But he forced himself to stay still. What do you think happened? He asked. Lily finally looked up at him and her eyes were hollow. I think a monster killed them. A real one. Not the kind from fairy tales. The truth was sitting right across from her and she didn't even know it. Why are you telling me this? Elias asked softly. Because you're the first person who hasn't lied to me. Everyone else says it was just an accident. A tragedy. Random violence. But you. She tilted her head. You look at me like you understand that some things are too broken to fix with nice words. Elias felt something twist inside him. This child was far too perceptive. Tell me about them, he said, though it would torture him. Your parents. What were they like? Lily's expression softened and for the first time that night, she almost smiled. My dad was funny. He did these terrible magic tricks that never worked, but he'd act so proud when the card trick failed. And my mom sang all the time. In the kitchen. In the car. She had this song she'd sing when I couldn't sleep. What song? Lily's eyes grew wet. You are my sunshine. Every night. She paused. I can't hear it anymore without crying. Elias remembered that night with brutal clarity now. The woman had been humming something as they walked. He hadn't paid attention then. But now the melody haunted him. They sound like they loved you very much, he said. They did. Lily wiped her eyes with her sleeve. That's why I know they wouldn't just leave me. That's why I keep thinking maybe it's not real. Maybe I'll wake up and they'll be there. Elias reached across the table before he could stop himself and placed his cold hand over her small warm one. I need you to listen to me, Lily. They're not coming back. And I know that's the worst thing in the world to hear. But you can't keep running into the night looking for them. You'll only find danger. She looked down at his hand on hers. Why is your hand so cold? He pulled back quickly. Poor circulation. Lily studied him for a long moment. You're sad too. I can see it. Did you lose someone? Everyone, Elias whispered before he could stop himself. I lost everyone. Including myself. What do you mean? He shook his head. It doesn't matter. But it does, Lily insisted. Because sad people recognize each other. That's why I hugged you. I felt it. And there it was. The connection he couldn't deny. Two broken souls finding each other in the dark. Except one of them was the reason the other was broken. Elias walked Lily back toward the orphanage as dawn began to paint the sky purple and gold. She walked beside him quietly, her small hand occasionally brushing against his. They'd been walking in comfortable silence for 2 blocks when she finally spoke. Can I ask you something? Anything. Do you believe in second chances? The question hit him hard. What kind of second chances? Like, if someone did something really bad. Something terrible. Do you think they could ever make up for it? Elias stopped walking. Why are you asking that? Lily shrugged, looking down at her shoes. Sometimes I get angry at my parents for dying. For leaving me alone. And then I feel terrible because it wasn't their fault. But I still get angry. Does that make me bad? Oh, sweetheart. Elias knelt down to her level, his eyes meeting hers. No. That makes you human. Anger is just love with no place to go. Her lip trembled. I miss them so much it hurts. I know. Does it ever stop hurting? Elias thought about the 200 years he'd carried his own pain. No. But you learn to carry it differently. And you find new people to love. It doesn't replace them. But it makes the world feel less empty. Is that why you helped me tonight? Because you're lonely too? Maybe, Elias admitted. Or maybe I just needed to do one good thing. Lily reached out and took his hand. Her skin was warm against his ice-cold fingers. You did lots of good things tonight. You fed me. You listened. You didn't treat me like I was just a sad little kid. You're not just a sad little kid. You're a survivor. So are you, she said with surprising wisdom. They started walking again, hand in hand now. Elias knew he should let go. Knew every moment with her was wrong. But her small hand in his felt like the first real thing he'd touched in decades. When they reached the corner across from the orphanage, Lily stopped. I don't want to go back. You have to. Come with me then. She looked up at him with desperate eyes. Tell Mrs. Miller you're my uncle or something. Tell her you'll take care of me, / Elias's heart shattered. I can't. Why not? Because I'm not who you need. But what if you are? Lily's voice broke. What if you're exactly who I need? You said sad people recognize each other. Maybe we're supposed to help each other. Elias closed his eyes against the pain. Lily, there are things about me you don't know. Things that would make you afraid. I'm not afraid of you. You should be. She squeezed his hand tighter. I don't care what you think you are. Tonight you were kind. That's all that matters." For one beautiful, terrible moment, Elias let himself imagine it. Taking her in, raising her, protecting her, being the father she lost. But he was the reason she needed a father at all. If you're feeling this story deep in your chest right now, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our family. We're building the fastest growing vampire love stories community on YouTube, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We have so much planned for you. You're special to us. Welcome home. I'll come visit you, Elias said finally. Tomorrow night. I promise. Lily's face lit up. Really? Really? She hugged him quickly, fiercely, then ran toward the orphanage before anyone could spot her. At the door, she turned back and waved. Elias waved back, his chest tight. He meant to keep that promise. He truly did. But the next evening, as he approached the orphanage, he saw something that stopped him cold. A police car parked outside. And standing on the steps talking to Mrs. Miller was Detective Sarah Cross, the woman who'd been investigating the Chin murders for 3 months. Elias stepped into the shadows and listened with his enhanced hearing. "We found new evidence," the detective was saying. "DNA from the scene. Non-human DNA. We're reopening the case. And we're checking everyone who's had contact with the orphan girl. This thing might be tracking her." Mrs. Miller's face went pale. Tracking Lily? Why? Killers sometimes return to the families, especially if there were witnesses. But Lily didn't see anything that night. "Are you sure?" The detective's voice was sharp. "Because children notice more than we think." Elias felt ice flood his veins. They were getting close. And they were right. He was tracking her. Not to harm her, but they didn't know that. He watched through the window as Mrs. Miller went inside and brought Lily down to the office. The little girl looked confused and scared. "Lily, honey," the detective knelt down. "I need you to tell me if anyone strange has approached you recently. Anyone who made you uncomfortable or asked about your parents." Elias's hands clenched. "Walk away. Just walk away, Lily." But Lily's face changed. She glanced toward the window, almost like she could sense him there. Then she looked back at the detective and shook her head. "No one." "You're sure? No strangers at all?" Lily hesitated for just a fraction of a second. "I'm sure." She lied for him. This child who'd lost everything lied to the police to protect a man she barely knew. And that's when Elias realized the horrifying truth. She was already attached. Already bonded. And when she found out what he really was, what he'd really done, it would destroy her even worse than losing her parents had. He had to end this. Now. Before she got hurt any deeper. The next night, Lily waited by the orphanage window for 2 hours. Elias never came. The night after that, she waited again. Nothing. By the 5th night, she stopped waiting. But on the 7th night, he finally appeared. Lily saw him standing across the street in the shadows and her heart leaped. She grabbed her jacket and snuck out the back door, running to him with relief flooding her face. "You came back. I thought you forgot about me. I thought." "Stay away from me," Elias said coldly. His voice was ice. Lily stopped running. "What?" "You need to stay away from me, Lily. Forget you ever met me." Her face crumpled in confusion. "But you promised. You said you'd visit. You said." I lied. His words were knives designed to cut. I'm not your friend. I'm not your family. I was just humoring a lost child and now I'm done. Tears sprang to her eyes. You don't mean that. Elias forced himself to look at her with cold, empty eyes. Go back inside. Go back to your little orphan life and forget about me. I don't want you following me around like some pathetic stray. The word pathetic landed like a slap. Lily flinched. But you said sad people recognize each other, she whispered. You said we could help each other. I say a lot of things. Doesn't make them true. Elias turned away. You were a distraction. Nothing more. Liar, Lily said, her voice shaking. You were lying. I can see it. Elias spun back, and for just a moment, let his true nature show. His eyes flashed red in the darkness. His fangs extended slightly. His face became the monster he truly was. You want the truth, little girl? I'm dangerous. I'm a killer. And if you come near me again, I might just add you to the list. Lily stumbled backward, her eyes wide with terror. She'd never seen anything like it. Never imagined that monsters were real. What are you? She breathed. Your worst nightmare. Now run. And she did. Lily turned and ran back to the orphanage, sobbing, terrified, her small body shaking with fear. Elias watched her go and felt something inside him die completely. He'd done it. He'd saved her from himself. She'd never come looking for him again. But as he stood alone in the dark, he realized he'd just destroyed the only good thing he'd touched in 200 years. 3 weeks passed like an eternity. Lily stopped sneaking out. Stopped looking out windows. Stopped hoping for anything at all. She moved through the orphanage like a ghost, barely eating, barely speaking. Mrs. Miller grew concerned enough to bring in a counselor, but Lily wouldn't talk about what happened. How could she explain that she'd met a monster and for one brief moment, felt less alone? At night, she'd lie in her small bed and replay that moment over and over. His eyes turning red. His face changing. The terrible certainty that he could kill her without effort. But underneath the fear was something else. A question that wouldn't leave her alone. If he wanted to hurt me, why didn't he? He'd had dozens of chances. In the diner. Walking through empty streets. He could have hurt her any time. But he didn't. Instead, he fed her. Walked her home safely. Held her hand. Listened to her talk about her parents without judgment. And that last night, when he'd shown her his monster face, she remembered something else. Something she'd missed in her terror. His eyes had been filled with tears. Monsters don't cry, do they? Lily sat up in bed, her heart racing. She thought about what he'd said. I'm dangerous. I'm a killer. And then she thought about what her mother used to tell her. People aren't just one thing, sweet girl. Everyone has light and shadow inside them. What if Elias was telling the truth and lying at the same time? What if he was dangerous, but didn't want to be? What if he pushed her away to protect her? The thought grew and grew until Lily couldn't ignore it anymore. On the 22nd night, she snuck out again. Elias stood on the roof of an abandoned building, looking out over the city. He'd been preparing to leave. To disappear. To go somewhere far away where the ghost of a little girl's trust couldn't follow him. But he couldn't seem to make himself go. Every night he found himself circling back to this neighborhood. Watching the orphanage from a distance. Making sure she was safe. Making sure no other monsters found her. He was torturing himself and he knew it. I thought I'd find you here. Elias spun around. Lily stood on the rooftop behind him, her small figure silhouetted against the night sky. How did you? I've been looking for you every night for a week, she said simply. You're not as good at hiding as you think. You shouldn't be here, Elias said, but his voice lacked the coldness from before. You should be terrified of me. I am, Lily admitted. She took a step closer. But I'm more terrified of being alone forever. Elias closed his eyes. Lily, you don't understand what I am. You're a vampire, she said quietly. His eyes snapped open. How? I'm 7, not stupid. Red eyes. Fangs. Cold skin. No reflection in the diner window. I noticed. She took another step. And I've been thinking a lot about the night my parents died. Elias felt his world collapsing. Lily, don't. The police said there was no blood. That something drained them. She was right in front of him now, looking up with eyes that were terrified but determined. It was you, wasn't it? The question hung in the air between them like a blade. Drop a comment right now and tell me what you think Elias should do. Should he tell her the truth? Can some sins ever be forgiven? I'm reading every single comment, and I want to know what you're thinking as this story reaches its breaking point. Yes. The word fell from Elias's lips like a stone into dark water. He couldn't look at her. Couldn't bear to see the hatred that would fill her eyes. It was me. I killed your parents. I am the monster that destroyed your life. Lily stood perfectly still. The night wind blew her dark hair across her face. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then, quietly, why? I was starving. Losing control. I hadn't fed in weeks and the hunger takes over when you wait too long. I become something else. Something with no thought except the need for blood. Elias's voice broke. I didn't know they had a daughter. I didn't know anything except the hunger. And when my mind finally cleared and I saw what I'd done, I wanted to die. I've wanted to die every day since. Lily's hands were shaking. Did they suffer? No. Elias forced himself to look at her, to give her that much. It was fast. They didn't feel pain. That doesn't make it better, I know. Nothing makes it better. But they didn't suffer. A tear rolled down Lily's cheek. Why didn't you kill me too? That night when I hugged you. You could have. Because the moment you called me daddy, something in me broke open. Elias's own tears came now, blood red against his pale skin. I looked at you and saw what I'd taken. Saw the hole I'd ripped in the universe. And I knew I could never make it right. But I had to try. Even if trying meant staying away from you. You pushed me away to protect me, Lily whispered. Yes. You scared me on purpose. Yes. Because you thought I'd be safer hating you than loving you. Elias nodded, unable to speak. Lily wiped her face with both hands. I should hate you. I want to hate you. You should. You have every right. But I don't. Her voice was anguished. I don't, and I don't know why. You killed my parents. You took everything from me. But when I look at you, all I see is someone who's as broken as I am. That doesn't make us the same, Elias said roughly. I'm the one who broke you. I know. Lily's voice was small but steady. And I'm so angry at you. I'm so angry. Part of me wants to scream and hit you and make you hurt like I hurt. You can. I deserve it. But another part of me. She looked up at him with eyes far too old for 7 years. Another part of me knows that you hate yourself more than I ever could. And that you've been trying to make up for it the only way you know how. By protecting me. By caring for me. By being what my father can't be anymore. Elias shook his head. I can never replace him. I don't want you to replace him, Lily said. I want you to be something different. Something new. She took a shaky breath. My parents are gone. You can't bring them back. And nothing you do will ever make what you did okay. But what? But you're here. And I'm here. And we're both so lonely it hurts. Lily's voice cracked. And maybe the universe put us together because we're the only ones who can understand each other's pain. Elias fell to his knees, bringing himself to her level. His shoulders shook with sobs he held back for months. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I'm not sure I'm forgiving you, Lily said honestly. I don't know if I can. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But I think I want to try. Try what? Being a family. A broken, messed up, complicated family. But a family. Elias looked at this extraordinary child through his tears. Why? Why would you want that? Because you're the only person who doesn't lie to me about how broken the world is. Because when you look at me, you don't see a poor little orphan. You see someone strong. She knelt down too, so they were eye to eye. And because I think saving me might be the thing that saves you too. I killed your father and mother, Elias whispered. How can you even look at me? Because you're also the person who fed me when I was hungry. Who listened when I needed to talk. Who's been watching over me every single night for 3 weeks thinking I didn't know. Lily reached out and took his freezing hand in her small warm one. You're a monster who did a terrible thing. But you're also the only person who's made me feel less alone. The parallel wasn't lost on Elias. 3 months ago, she'd grabbed his hand and called him Daddy, not knowing who he was. Now she grabbed his hand again, knowing exactly who he was, and chose him anyway. I'll spend every day trying to make this right, Elias said. Every single day for the rest of your life. I'll protect you. Provide for you. I'll be whatever you need me to be. I need you to be honest, Lily said. I need you to never lie to me. And I need you to understand that some days I'm going to be angry at you. Some days I might hate you. I can accept that. And I need you to tell me stories about other things. Happy things. Because I've had enough darkness. I can do that too. Lily took a deep breath. Then okay. We can try. She leaned forward and wrapped her arms around his neck. Elias held her carefully, like she was made of glass and light. Over her shoulder, the sun was beginning to rise, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. We need to get you back before they notice you're gone, Elias said softly. Will you be there tomorrow night? Every night, Elias promised. For as long as you want me. Lily pulled back and looked at him seriously. This doesn't mean I forgive you for what you did. I know. But it means I'm willing to let you try to be better. That's more than I deserve. Probably, Lily agreed. Then, with the hint of a smile, but my mom used to say that grace isn't about what we deserve. It's about what we choose to give. She sounds like she was wise. She was. Lily's eyes filled with tears again. I miss her so much. Tell me about her, Elias said as they stood and began walking toward the fire escape. Tell me everything. I want to know them. I need to know them. And so as they made their way through the early morning streets, Lily talked. She told him about her father's terrible magic tricks and her mother's constant singing. She told him about Sunday pancakes and bedtime stories and the way her dad would throw her in the air and catch her while her mom pretended to be worried. Elias listened to every word, memorizing each detail. These were the people he'd taken from the world. The least he could do was keep their memory alive. When they reached the orphanage, Lily paused at the back door. "What do we do now?" "Now I make arrangements," Elias said. "I'll find a legal way to get you out of here. It might take some time, but I have resources. Money. Connections. You're going to adopt me? If you'll let me. It won't be traditional. I can only be around at night. But I'll hire someone trustworthy to care for you during the day. You'll have a real home. Your own room. Books. Anything you want. I just want to not be alone anymore," Lily whispered. "You won't be. I promise you that." Elias knelt down one more time. "And Lily, I will carry what I did for the rest of my existence. I will never stop trying to make up for it. Not because I think I can, but because you deserve someone who tries." Lily looked at this monster who'd killed her parents and was now vowing to be her father. It was wrong and complicated and went against everything that should make sense. But somehow, it also felt right. "Okay," she said simply. Then she hugged him one more time, stood on her tiptoes, and whispered in his ear, "Daddy." This time, Elias let himself accept it. 2 months later, Elias stood in the doorway of a bedroom painted soft purple with stars on the ceiling. Lily was curled up in bed, clutching a stuffed bear, fast asleep. The social workers had questioned everything. But money and forged documents had worked their magic, and now she was legally his. His daughter. Not by blood. Not by right. But by choice. By redemption. By the strange grace of a child who understood that people could be more than their worst moments. He still carried the guilt. He always would. Some nights it threatened to drown him. But then Lily would call for him from a nightmare, and he'd sit beside her bed and tell her stories until she fell back asleep, and he'd remember this was his purpose now. Not to erase what he'd done, but to build something good from the ruins. As he watched her sleep, he heard her whisper something in her dreams. A soft, barely audible sound. "You are my sunshine." Her mother's song. Elias felt tears slip down his face. He would never meet the people who'd raised this extraordinary child. But he would honor them by protecting what they'd loved most. "I'll take care of her," he promised the ghosts he carried. "I swear I'll take care of her." And somewhere in the space between darkness and dawn, between monster and man, between the unforgivable and the forgiven, a new family began. So there it is. A monster and the child he orphaned, choosing each other despite everything. Before you go, I need to know, what did you think of this journey? Could you feel their pain, their connection, their impossible choice? Drop a comment below and let me know what moment hit you the hardest. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Join our family. We're the fastest growing vampire love stories community on YouTube, and we have incredible stories planned that you absolutely cannot miss. You're special. You're part of this. And this is just the beginning. Welcome home.